What's up, you guys? My name is Sarah. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm going to show you guys what my June TBR is, and I will say it is very ambitious. I don't know if I'm gonna get to all these books but this is my June TBR. Okay, so I have a lot of books. I actually already started one of them, thankfully, because it is already June. I feel like I'm in a slight slump. I haven't been feeling very good. I've kind of been going through a lot, so I'm a little, sometimes I'm not always in the mood to read, just because, I don't know, mentally, I just want to turn everything off and not even use any brain power to do anything. But I'm gonna try to keep reading, of course. This one I actually already started. I'm on chapter 5, and it is The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. I've heard such good things about this book, and so far very interesting. So basically it's this lady, Millie, and she is currently homeless, and she just spent time in prison, and she needs a job. So she gets a job being a maid, obviously, with this very wealthy family, and there's something off. She feels like something's off the whole time when she's thinking about getting the job, when she's applying for the job and everything, but she's just in a desperate situation and she needs a job, so she takes it when it gets offered to her. Okay, so I had to jump in here real quick and retell you guys what this book, The Housemaid, is about, because when I said it, I misread the back of it, but like I said, I was already reading it. I'm actually currently on chapter let's see. I'm currently on chapter 32, and there is a lot more. But I'm about that much into the book. But I wanted to tell you guys what the back of the book said, so that way you guys can get a better description of it, because I kind of described it wrong. But basically it says, "Welcome to the family," Nina Winchester says. As I shake her elegant, manicured hand, I smile politely, gazing around the marble hallway. Working here is my last chance at a fresh start. I can pretend to be whoever I like, but I'll soon learn that the Winchesters' secrets are far more dangerous than my own. Every day I clean the Winchesters' beautiful house from top to bottom. I pick up their daughter from school as I cook delicious meals for the whole family before heading up to eat alone in my tiny room on the top floor. I try to ignore how Nina makes a mess just to watch me clean it up, how she tells strange lies about her own daughter, and how her husband, Andrew, seems more broken every day. But as I look into Andrew's handsome brown eyes, so full of pain, it's hard to not imagine what it would be like to live Nina's life. I try on one of Nina's pristine white dresses once, just to see what it was like, but she soon finds out. By the time I realize my attic bedroom door only locks from the outside, it's far too late. But I reassure myself, the Winchesters don't know who I really am. They don't know what I'm capable of. And you guys, when I tell you that the twist that this book just took, I was like, several parts that I read in just the two, how many chapters was it? 2, 3, like 3 or 4 chapters that I read during my lunchtime, my mouth was on the floor. My mouth was literally, my jaw was on the floor. It was on the floor because I was like, what? I cannot wait to review this book. I can't wait to finish it. I'm just so excited, and yeah, I highly suggest this book. Again, this is kind of like If He Had Been With Me, where like in the very beginning of the book, they basically let you know what's going to happen, like what endgame is. But I'm sure it's going to be really interesting trying to get to that point and see what unfolds and how it unfolds. It's very, very interesting so far. And it says, from behind closed doors, she sees everything. And so it's very, very, very interesting. Very interesting. So I'm excited to read that book. I actually just got this book today. I ordered it on Amazon. I did not know it was going to be that short, but I heard about it, and it sounded like something that I would really enjoy. It's called Grief Observed by C.S. Lewis. And basically it's his thought process and everything about the grief that he's going through of losing his wife. And I am going through a lot with grief lately, and I actually enjoy reading things about other people grieving because it makes me feel less alone, and it helps me when they understand what I'm going through. I just feel seen, I feel heard. So I feel like I'm really gonna enjoy this book. Like I said, it's very, very short. It has 76 pages, not chapters, pages. So but apparently there's more. The Abolition of Man, The Weight of Glory, The Problem of Pain, George MacDonald, The Great Divorce, Mere Christianity, Miracles, The Screw Tape Letters, and The Signature Classics. Interesting, very interesting. So I'm gonna enjoy reading that book, I'm sure. I also recently bought the Chronicles of Narnia. I bought there on Amazon. They had this big book, like where it's like all of the books in one big book, and I'm so excited because I've seen all the movies and I love them. So I'm really, really like looking forward to reading all the stories and seeing how they differ, of course. I found this book today. It's called 13 Ways of Looking at a Fat Girl. I've never heard anybody talk about this book or anything. I just saw it and I was like, that looks like something I would want to read. It just says, in her brilliant, hilarious, at times shocking debut, Mona Awad, which is the author, skewers our body image obsessed culture, at the same time delivers a tender and moving depiction of a lovably difficult young woman whose life is hijacked by her struggle to conform. As causatically funny as it is heartbreaking, 13 Ways of Looking at a Fat Girl introduces a vital new voice in fiction. But Lizzie has never liked the way that she looks, even though her best friend Mel says she's the pretty one. She starts dating guys online, but she's afraid to send pictures. She knows no one would want her if they could really see her, so she starts to lose. She counts almonds consumed, miles logged, pounds dropped. She grows up to get thin, navigating a double-edged validation from her mother, her friends, her husband, and her reflection in the mirror. But no matter how much she loses, will she ever see herself as anything other than a fat girl? So to me, that kind of sounds like body dysmorphia. So maybe that would be like a trigger warning. I don't know because I haven't read the book. I'll definitely be giving like, sorry, I got distracted because there's a little penguin on the side. I didn't realize there was a little penguin and it just caught me off guard. I maybe would look up like any trigger warnings if you do want to read the book, but I will definitely be giving a review of all of these books once I have read them. The next one is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I have heard such good things about this book, and when I read what it's about, oh my gosh, you guys. I have been saying this about myself for so freaking long. You're welcome to every girl that is now married to a guy that I've dated, because most likely, or is like in a very long-term relationship, because they got with you right after they were with me. And you're welcome. I threw them into your arms, girl. I guess they ran away crying from me. Ran away from me and ran right into your arms, because that literally has happened to me almost every single time. Every single time somebody dates me or talks to me, the next person that they date is the one, and they stay with them forever. So you're welcome. You're welcome. But basically, it's about a guy and a girl who both feel that they have that curse. And so they decide that a way to break that curse is going to be to date each other. And so they date each other to then go out on dates with other people and see if like their curse gets broken because they dated each other. That sounds like such a good plot, and I've heard that like it does deal with some like heavier topics and like as far as the things that they're going through family wise, but that just like it hits home. It hits home, because I swear I have always said that about myself, and it really is true. So I can't wait to read that book. I've heard such good things about her writing. I want to get all of her other books. I want to get the one about the playlist, and I want to get Yours Truly, and I know there's a few other ones, but I want to get all of those. So soon I'm trying to build up all my books that I've heard about. This next one is called The Inheritance Games. It's actually a part of a series. It's the first book in a series. I want to say that these books, except for this one, that these are the next ones in the series. I want to say basically it's this girl who Avery Grams has a plan for a better future, to survive high school with a scholarship and get out. But her luck changes in an instant when a billionaire, Tobias Hawthorne, dies and leaves her virtually his entire fortune. The only catch? Avery must move into his sprawling mansion full of secrets, riddles, and codes. Unfortunately for Avery, Hawthorne's house is also occupied by the family that was disinherited. This includes the 4 Hawthorne grandsons, who grew up with the expectation that one day they would inherit billions. The heir, Grayson, is convinced that Avery is a con woman, and he's determined to take her down. But his brother, Jameson, views her as their grandfather's last hurrah, a twisted riddle, a puzzle that must be solved. Caught in a world of wealth and privilege, with danger on every turn, Avery will play the game herself just to survive. That sounds like such a good book. So I can't wait to read that. I just think it's going to be so interesting. And then this book is close to my heart, you guys. I read this book when I was 12, I think. I read this book when I was 12, and I literally can never get this book out of my head. I enjoyed this book so much when I was younger, and I was not a reader when I was younger. I hated reading. I did not understand why people would just sit there and read. I didn't get it. I was like, I don't understand. I don't understand how you could just sit there and read. But when I read this book, so good. So good. Oh, this book is by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I forgot to mention that. I kind of forget to mention the authors of the books. Sorry. I'll try to do better. But this book is called Choices, and it's by Deborah Lynn Jacobs. And basically it is about this girl, Kathleen. She is going through grief because one night her brother gets killed in an accident, and through her grief, I guess, she ends up jumping through different realities of her. It's her same life. No, she ends up jumping through realities every time she falls asleep. She'll wake up in a different reality where things are like different. She's still in most of the realities, she's still grieving, but her choices have been different. So it's like different things are happening in the different realities. So she starts like giving herself different names to keep up with which reality she's supposed to be in. So one is like Kathleen, and she calls herself Kate or Kat or whatever. And she calls herself like Katie, stuff like that. Like, so ways that she could keep up with what reality she's supposed to be in. And she actually ends up meeting somebody that also jumps realities. And they explain it to be more like a gift that she's been given, but she doesn't really like know how to control it or anything. So this book is so good, you guys. I haven't read it since I read it when I was 12, and then I reread it again when I was in 9th grade. I want to say the 9th grade or the 8th grade, one of those. I have like a picture of it on my Instagram. I'll put it here. It's from like years ago, but that was when I reread it, and then I'm going to reread it again. It's actually one of my favorite books. I don't remember it being so short though. I don't know. I really thought that it was like a way longer book, but it's actually only 189 pages. They don't have the chapters numbered. They're just like who she is. So yeah, but I love this book, you guys. I definitely would recommend this book, and I want to reread it. Okay, so my last two books. I'm so excited, you guys. I got the Magnolia Parks book. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to start reading this. You guys, I've heard like amazing things about this book. Like, I actually, when I first heard about it, it was this girl that was trying to read it, and she didn't like it. Like, she did like a, what do you call it? Like, she DNF'd it, I think, for a little bit, and then she picked it back up because she just didn't like everything that was happening. But whenever the book has been described, like, of what's going on, I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to read that. So I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I can't wait to start reading this book. And so this is what it says on the back. How many loves do you get in a lifetime? Magnolia Parks is a beautiful, affluent, self-involved, and mildly neurotic London socialite. B.J. Ballantyne is Britain's most notorious and photographed bad boy who broke her heart. But these two are meant to be, and everyone knows it. Magnolia and BJ are written in the stars, just suspended in a strange kind of love that looks like hurting each other a lot of the time. She dates other people to keep him at bay. He sleeps with other girls to get back at her for it, but at the end of their every sad endeavor to get over one another, it's still each other that they crawl back to. Finally, after years of this, their dysfunction is catching up with them, pulling at their seams and fraying the world they've built. But they're not ready to let go, not yet at least. As the cracks start to show and begin to surface, Magnolia and BJ are forced to shape formidable questions that they've been avoiding all their lives. How many loves do you get in a lifetime? This is a series. There are several other books with this series. Apparently there's the story about Magnolia and BJ, and then there's also another couple and that one I think is in Daisy Hates or something like that. I can't remember all the other books offhand, but it's an entire series, and I bought the first book. I'm trying to be good about buying only the first book in a series, that way I can see if I even like it. But I have a feeling I'm really gonna love this. But yeah, I can't wait to start reading this book, you guys. Like, I've heard so many good things. I've just heard so much like about the story already that I'm like, I want to read this book. The next one that I'm so excited to start reading is Once Upon a Broken Heart. I've heard really good things about this book as well. Actually, the description of the book is what really caught my attention when they described what it was. So it says, Evangeline Fox has always believed in true love and happy endings until she learns that the love of her life will marry another. Desperate to stop the wedding, Evangeline strikes a deal with the charismatic, immortal Prince of Hearts, but she soon discovers that bargaining with the Prince of Hearts is a dangerous game. He has plans for Evangeline, plans that will either end in the greatest happily ever after ever, or the most exquisite tragedy. So this is the next book. This is the last book that's on my TBR for June. I actually started the audiobook on YouTube of this one, but I think I want to like just actually read it, because I really just want to like enjoy the story like by reading it. I like listening to the books, like I like listening to the audiobook, but I really want to like, I don't know, like I don't want to miss out on the experience of like actually reading the book. And this just seems like such a good story. I'm so excited to start on series. I don't have a lot of experience with series except for the Twilight series. I did read that one when I was younger, but that's the only series that I've ever read. So I'm excited to start on several different series and then, you know, keep getting the books as I go along and everything. But yeah, you guys, so I hope you enjoyed that video. I am so excited to start these books. I'm so excited. But yeah, so comment, like, subscribe, all that stuff, and I will see you next time. Bye.